Ta-da! That song is so good. That song is so good. And I want nothing more in life than to hear that song all the time. So there we have it. That was the Road Blaster intro. I'm going to have that, I think, before everything. Now we've got, again, the smooth tunes of Andrew Elmore's Wave Beam. Andrew Elmore up in Seattle right now. Hope you're doing okay. If you're there, if you're not, because maybe you don't have power, hope everything's okay. Hope everybody's okay up in the Pacific Northwest after the bomb cyclone. It's good to see you, home team game dev. That's right. That intro tune sounds like video game manuals. It's the same level of excitement that I think you can expect when it comes to video game manuals. And today we've got a hard rockin', hard charging manual in Revolution X from Aerosmith. I don't have any Aerosmith music to back me up because I don't want to get sued by Steven Tyler. I can only imagine that's a bad place to be. Also, good news. Yeah, you're right. It did rock. That was amazing. And Andrew Elmore, who is here, it's good to see you. Music is the weapon, yeah, music is the weapon, and it's going to get us through some very bad times, and it darn well better. And I think we'll learn how to fight back against oppressive regimes in just a few minutes after looking at Revolution X. Before that, I just want to say, hope everyone's doing okay, and that the holidays, which are coming up, treat everyone well. I don't want to harp on the real world too much, but it'll be it's tough. I think it's going to be extra important for me, at least personally, to find things that I'm grateful for, which is, I know, extremely corny and cringe, as us currently young people say. Chuggy, is that a thing? We say chuggy. The Switch collection. Oh yeah, thank you, Andrew Elmore is pointing out the Switch collection that I've got back there. I've got a problem. I really like Switch games. I like the cases, and sometimes they're cheap. So over the span of 8 years, I guess I've got a few. I got a few more today too. Now I've got a cough. You chugged a lot of water today. I'm gonna chug some of this tea because I forgot to chug some coffee right before this. And I have a cough as well. So there we go. So yeah, Chug, go ahead and chug whatever drink you've got in front of you. I'm going nowhere with this. This isn't even like I'm like thinking of some sort of path to take this bit in. I have literally nothing. I have absolutely nothing to say. Anyway, one thing that I'm going to call out is that next week on Wednesday, I might take some extra time to do a long stream where I might sit here for just a couple of hours, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know how crazy I feel. Just in the spirit of being thankful. And this is going to sound yet again extraordinarily cringe and potential. I'm going to keep saying chuggy. If I'm saying something really offensive, please stop me because I truly don't know what this is. This is like, I learned the other day what zaddy was, and I guess that's just like a carnally appealing older man. But I didn't know that. I just thought it was a funny way to say dad. So I don't know. Anyway, stop me if I'm saying something offensive. I will claim ignorance. But yeah, I don't know, a couple of hours because I'm grateful for the ability to do this little stream, and I'm grateful for the manuals, and I'm grateful for anyone who's ever shown up and ever supported in any of this. And I think I've felt, especially recently, that it is really important to just like take in the being grateful and just like really reveling in it. So if anybody's around, I'll be around for maybe potentially more time than usual and more time than is advisable. And if not, then I totally get it. Yeah, a home team game dev off with potential. I think family. It sounds like, friends, family. Go do that. This is not to get anybody to rope anybody into 3 hours of video game manuals, but it is just me trying to show some appreciation for this thing being fun and cool, and anybody at all being happy to join. So yeah, okay. Chuggy, Andrew Elmore says Chuggy is just brunch lord for cringe. It never actually took off. Big time fetch energy. Thank you. Yes. We're not going to try to make fetch happen. And as hard as I try, we're not gonna make Chugi happen, is my guess. So there we go. We got a new chat in there, Zaddy. I love how you're both younger than me and older than me. See, we're learning new things all the time. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for chatting. Um, yeah, can we take Chug and make it seem cool? Like the brunch lords won't like it, but maybe the what's another kind of thing? If you're a brunch lord, what else could you be? I don't know. A dinner peasant. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, man. I don't know what I'm doing today. Let's read a manual. Let's get going. Let's use the structure of the show to help guide me by taking a look here at uh nope, that's not going to be it. Hold on. Does this work? Does this work? Okay. Can I get a shout from the chat if we can still hear at least a little bit of the music, the Andrew music? Yes, we need a cool manual for this world. Let me try to fix whatever's going on with the screen here. Hang tight. Apologies, folks. And then I'm going to fix this one. Okay, good. Thank you for that. I appreciate the heads up that you can hear the music and that you can see it. I'm sorry that we won't be able to hear the smooth tones of anti-fascism from Revolution X, based on the #1 arcade smash featuring Aerosmith by Midway. This is the Super Nintendo manual. I don't know if there's going to be any difference there. Music is the weapon. It's for T. It's rated T for tunes, for being in tune. If you ever have a chance, and maybe I can try to find it after the manual. If you ever have a chance, there are some funny behind the scenes videos from the making of this game where they tried to get not Steven Tyler but the guitarist to say some lines, and he's just like, these lines are too chuggy. They're terrible. Don't you know what it's in? It's in the insert. Is it Insert Coin, the documentary? The one about Midway? I think it's in that one. Anyway, it's fantastic. Joe Perry, Chug God. He knows. He's been a brunch lord before that was a thing, and he knows what's chuggy. He knows what's cringe. But what I know is that you need to read the enclosed consumer information and precautions booklet carefully before using your Nintendo hardware system or game pack, and we got to read it carefully before we enjoy the stream. We can talk a little bit more to the ESRB at 1-800-771-3772. Would be curious if that's still there. So you can ask them about why this game was rated T for teen. So yeah, it's a game about anti-fascism. I think that should be available to everybody. This should be like when movies get rated G, even though they have some bad words in them because they tell an important story. It's an important documentary. This is basically just a documentary of the near future. So loading the game options, you got a table of everything. So here's the scoop. I don't have a good Aerosmith voice, and my cough is going to continue, so apologies. Here we go. Sip of tea. I dribbled. I dribbled on myself. 3 hours next week. That's going to go real good. So here's the scoop. Something devastating is about to happen. The world is about to be unified under one oppressive governing body. The New Order Nation. A corrupt alliance of government and big business set on crushing today's youth and destroying anything that's at all fun. So I think back then they didn't have a name for it. Now they just call it Project 2025. It's a gruesome regime. Yeah? Held under the iron rule of Headmistress Helga, a vicious vamp whose obvious attractions are truly fatal and enforced by battalions of evil, leather-clad troops. So sometimes in art, it's impossible to predict the future 100%. So I think you can see a few diversions over here. I think I'll speak for myself. I think that I would rather have Headmistress Helga in charge of things than Matt Gaetz. But who knows? It's hard to say. So there we go. As the story unfolds, you learn that America's premier rock band Aerosmith Crying. Listen, they had that stretch after Get a Grip came out where they had Crying, they had Crazy, and they had Amazing. And I think those are cool songs, not only because they had three gigantic hits in a row that are all fantastic. I think it's cool that like they all sort of sound like a variation on the same word, but I think it's pretty cool. So yes, they are the #1 premier rock band in America. They have been abducted from the hottest club in Los Angeles, Club X, by non-forces, and that this is just the beginning. The message is clear. The party's over. It's now up to you. And you're the only one who can stop the destruction. And music is your weapon. That's right. Right? Geffen Records, hugely important to the resistance. That's good. Okay, taller than you. That's right. The Leatherclad, let it be known, we Leatherclad folk are anti-Project 2025. That is good to hear. We are coming together, and I think that's good. That's another way the game got the future incorrect. Was they thought that the Leatherclad folks would be pro Project 2025, but we know that that's not true, and I think that that's important. Surrounded by enemy helicopters and armored personnel carriers. Oops, that's not how the sentence works. Surrounded by enemy helicopters and armored personnel carriers. Oh, take a sip of this tea. Let's see if I dribble again. I've still got the song at the beginning. God, that's so good. Maybe I'll just listen to that the rest of the day. Surrounded by enemy helicopters. We'll try this again. Surrounded by enemy helicopters and armored personnel carriers, brimming with psychotic New Order stormtroopers wielding some really wicked weaponry. It's gonna take a lot of shooting to fight your way out of this one. Whew. Surrounded by enemy helicopters. There's like a mouthful there. Take aim with your sonic assault weapons. Oh, is this about Havana Syndrome? Take aim with your sonic assault weapons. The auto-load multi-CD launcher and blast the... I gotta get a soundboard. Blast the... It's rated T, folks. Blast the crap out of those treacherous tyrants to restore life as we know it. It's a roller coaster ride through some extremely tough scenarios as you uncover what's really going on at the Evergreen Chemical Company in the heart of the Amazon jungle. Battle to stop the bus that's taking people to Brainwash Central to reorient them for the new society, and to conquer Chemitech where they're making mind-altering drugs. Not sure Aerosmith would be against that last one necessarily, but I suppose if it's in service of Project 2025, then maybe it's worth stopping. All must be destroyed while you search for Aerosmith and help them set free for a celebratory concert at London's Wembley Stadium. Okay. There are hidden obstacles at every turn, skeletons in every closet. Whatever you do, don't give up. That's right. Revolution Home Team Game Dev Brainwash Central is the new name for X. Revolution X Brainwash Central. Is that just a coincidence? It's impossible to say, but I think scientifically it's true. Get ready to rock. You can load the game in there. I have a hot take to share on today's stream. And that hot take is that I think the American SNES looks better than the Famicom or the European one. I like the weird medicine purple, the medicine pink that they have on it. I think that looks cool. So that's my hot take. It really stands out against this green background here, I think. So yeah, there you go. You got this guy too. I also like the buttons here. The medicine, it looks like a children's Tylenol, and I think that that's kind of nice. There we go. Yeah, no, Andrew Elmore. I think this is exactly the right time to bring it up. I think you got to get into some rage and read Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital before you dig into Revolution X. I think that's right. I think a lot of the really key messages in Revolution X might get lost on folks who aren't more well steeped in revolutionary thought. So I think that's pretty important. So thank you. Yes. That's what we'll do for the next manual read. Is next time before we do something as brave as the story in Revolution X, we'll read that. I also got to be honest, the arcade version of Revolution X with the gun, like the thing and it shakes, it's very good. It's a good game. I think it's a good game. Yeah, music. If you really want to, we've built the option to play without listening to music. But quite frankly, it's Aerosmith, so why would you? Yes. Oh, Andrew Elmore also likes the US SNES design. Thank you. That's right. Did the man tell you you're never allowed in England for that hot yet correct take? The objective is pretty simple: shoot everything in sight, free all captives, so not everything in sight, and don't get wasted in the process. You score extra points for the amount of destruction you do, so shoot freely. That's right. Firing CDs is with the L and R buttons. You get a fire machine gun with Y. Pretty simple controls. Throughout the game, blast every box in sight, as well as background objects to open them and reveal their contents. Fire again to collect what's inside. I think this is pretty cool. CDs are exciting. This stuff is exciting. I got a phone call from a spam number, which is less exciting. You got energy meters, CD counters, and scores. You get lots of pickups. You get some silver CDs, which are worth 3 CDs. You get gold CDs, which is worth 10 CDs. That's kind of like the when you'd go to Costco and you could buy like a pack of like classical records, classical CDs in there. Speaking of gold CDs in Costco, I have a gold-plated CD of the Eagles Hotel California somewhere in the house. Yes, thank you. Don't be intimidated, but I've got that somewhere. It's a great pickup from Costco back when I was probably about 11. So pretty cool. You got a super gun. Each super gun does hit the damage. Jesus Christ. Each super gun, I can't do this. I'm going to do, okay, 3, 2, 1. Each super gun hit does the damage of 5 regular bullets. You got laser discs, which cause more damage than a standard CD. That's right. And then you got a shield, which protects you for 35 hits. You got skull bombs, the most awesome weapon in your arsenal. Wastes all enemies on screen, and even totals new order vehicles. You get wheatgrass shakes, guaranteed to give you plenty of pep. Down a couple of these and watch your energy meter rise. Okay, Andrew Elmore, yeah, super gun. I was gonna say something about that, but I couldn't remember what it was. The arcade board have a JAM harness or something. It must, I think so. The gun uses CDs, but the rest of the game runs on a JAMA. Wings to really rule at Revolution X and make a ton of bonus points in the process. You've got to earn your wings, all 5 of them. Wings are awarded when you find and free a member of Aerosmith. It's like when you're a kid and you get on an airplane and the pilot gives you like a little pin with wings on it. That's what they do. They put that little pin on your chest and you're so proud of yourself, and that helps you stop the New Order Nation. It continues in scoring and levels. There's a huge amount to do before you can free the band and loosen the stranglehold of the New Order. Their tactics are treacherous. They've infiltrated every corner of the globe. They're running teen reorientation camps in the Middle East. They're dosing natives with mind control drugs, then commandeering them as guards. They're armed to the teeth, and their strength in numbers is terrifying. It's a different approach to the Golden State Warriors' strength in numbers approach. Where you would have like David West and Leandro Barbosa. I think these guys are using it for much more nefarious means. Worse still, they're under the thumb of Headmistress Helga, whose evil knows no bounds. It's up to you to keep the rebellion alive. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. And if you can beat these buttheads, you'll get an outrageous bonus. Whom amongst us feels ready to beat these buttheads? I sure do. Let's read about the levels. You've got Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, California, the city of angels. It's almost showtime at Club X. What was the song from City of Angels? The Goo Goo Dolls song? They should make Revolution X 2 starring the Goo Goo Dolls. I'd like to see how that is. It's almost time. It's almost showtime at Club X. The band is getting ready to go on stage. Security are waiting to open the doors. The excitement is building when, suddenly out of nowhere, you hear the ominous whir of an assault helicopter. Tensions rise. In no time at all, they're taken over. The New Order, dedicated to stopping fun in all forms, has seized power. Watch out for the enemy transporter. It's tough to stop. Once you're inside the club, check out the bathroom. That's what I always do. That is one of the first things I do because I don't want to have to get back up and go out again. It's full of surprises. The lobby, like glory holes. The lobby is swarming with non-droogs. Try to make your way into the bar and free the girls. Aerosmith are ready to rock, but the New Order are trying to cancel the show. You've got to fight back with everything you've got. The backstage scene is brutal. There's a lot of overdosing. Helicopter joyride. The New Order have succeeded in capturing Aerosmith. Gosh darn it. Your task is to hijack a non-helicopter and take off in search of the band's car with an enemy chopper in hot pursuit. Load up on pickups wherever you can. You'll need them to exterminate the troops that are following you. Where you go from here is up to you. Once you've destroyed the chopper and found the Aerosmith's car, you have to decide where to take the flight next. There are 3 different scenarios. You need to master all of them in order to save the world from eternal misery. Stakes could not be higher. Oh my god. You've got this. You've got keep thinking this is Aerosmith versus New Order. This is I think so too. I don't know what, like, there's a leap that's being taken here where we're supposed to be freeing the world, but it seems increasingly clear all we're really doing is rescuing Aerosmith. So I'm not sure how much good we're actually doing. And I don't say that because, listen, Honkin' on Bobo, it's a great album. I think that's Aerosmith, right? Honkin' on Bobo, it's a great album. But I'm not sure they're going to save the world. I'll just say this: if Aerosmith wanted to save the world at this point in 2024, I think that they would have. You get Amazon Jungle. This Bobo ain't gonna honk itself is a phrase that I think has given me significant brain problems today. Deep in the heart of the Amazon jungle, working under the cover of the Evergreen Chemical Company, the New Order are putting mind control chemicals in the world's food supply. They've already turned the once peaceful natives into crazed killers. Oh no. You've got to fight your way inside the factory where you can expect an explosive reception. Explore your surroundings thoroughly and keep your eyes open for captives. And if you come across a gibbering giant green skull, just keep shooting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm never gonna permaban you, Andrew. I'm never gonna permaban you. I'm probably never gonna permaban anyone unless they came in with a truly terrible take. Let's say the truly terrible take is that Super Mario World has better music than Super Mario Land. Now, if somebody came in and said that take, I would probably boot them from the stream and block them. Use the nuclear block option on Blue Sky. So better be sure no one says that. We got that. Look at that. Look at this. This is the skull. I don't know what he's doing here. But if we're dealing with enemies that have a gibbering green skull, I think we've got a larger issue to contend with. You've got the Middle East as well. Just doing some freedom keeping in the Middle East. That's fantastic. Well, what could go wrong? By now, you'll have realized that the New Order Nation will go to any lengths to retain their tenuous grip on power, even if this means mass brainwashing the youth of today. Stop the express bus that ferries kids to Brainwash Central, the teen reorientation camp, where they turn them into senseless drones willing to execute others on command. I think this is just podcasts now. First, free as many captives as you can. Then blast the bus back to the Stone Age. Yeah, get out of here, bus. En route, try to solve the riddle of the Sphinx. To speed up or down, shoot at the buttons on the top or right of left and right of the screen. Excuse me, I couldn't read there. Holy moly. There's a lot going on. Pacific Rim. Ooh, we're gonna get to some drifting. How do we feel about Pacific Rim as a movie? Oh my god, why am I doing this? Do we all think it's good? I'm stretching because I can't figure out how to move the page around. You know, that's my question to you all. How do we feel about Pacific Rim? I think it's fantastic. That's what I would say. So anyway, now that I figure out where we're at, yeah, this Revolution X. We're gonna find out that actually at the end of the day, Revolution X was Hideo Kojima's most the game that inspired him to make everything else afterwards. He wasn't interested in art or games or anything before. Hideo Kojima should scan Aerosmith. He should scan Aerosmith, and he should work with Konami to make a. Oh no, he doesn't have to work with Konami. He should work with the folks at Midway, the good folks at Midway, at least whoever owns the rights to this, and make a new Revolution X. That's what I thought. That's what I think should happen. You've never seen Taller Than You, remember? You've never seen Pacific Rim? You know, I'm not going to say you should. I happen to like it quite a bit. But I'm not going to say you should. Can I take a break for a quick second and talk a bit about the movie Trap that I watched last week? If you are sitting here on the stream and you find yourself, let's say, during the Thanksgiving break with some time, I strongly recommend, without hesitation and with no reservations, Trap. M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. Um, I say that you should watch it, and I would love to hear what you think. I think that's what I will say. Um, it is a movie that I love, and it's a movie that I think may have been written by someone who has never spoken to a person, been spoken to by a person, existed outside in a space where other people are also existing, having have been to a concert. Um, it is a movie of it is a wild time, and I strongly suggest checking it out. It's very silly. It's extremely silly, but it's a lot of fun. You get Pacific Rim. Chemi Tech is yet another front for yes, yeah, by M Night it's on Max, I think now. The one to watch. It's on Max, the one to watch right now, and it's extraordinarily stupid, but in maybe the best way possible. I thought it was fantastic, but you have to be willing to like go with it because it's pretty silly. HBO Max. Apparently that Mac Mini is pretty nice. So Chemitech is yet another front for the non. My attention span is out today. This warehouse facility on an island out in the Pacific Rim is where their mind-altering chemicals are manufactured and stored. It's crawling with ninjas in Yellow Jackets. Season 1 of Yellow Jackets was really good. Season 2, curious to see where they take season 3. So it's kind of interesting that they've got that girls soccer team hanging around in here too, but kind of fits with their general vibe actually. So don't let up on the trigger. Psycock the Solly's here. Good to see you. You need to find your way around the warehouse, keeping an eye out for hidden advantages. I've gotten so derailed, folks. I can't read for more than one sentence. I'm going to do this. Once you've cleared the place, it's time to visit the executive suites. When you get there, you'll find that the head honcho is a really nasty piece of work. And finally, we get to go to Wembley Stadium, where Aerosmith just has another gig. Finally, you've beaten them at their own game. And I think that own game is shooting guns. Aerosmith is free. Now it's time to celebrate with a sold-out concert at London's Wembley Stadium. But not just yet. Your task is to shoot down the on-stage video monitors to get to Princess Helga, or Headmistress Helga, who's lurking behind them in the hopes of salvaging her miserable life and the new Order Nation. It's a painful moment to be destroying so many gigantic and pristine CRTs, as you can see here in the image. So that's too bad. Now it's time to go one-on-one and find out what she's really made of, and it ain't pretty. All your fighting skills will be needed for this last brutal battle. Dig deep, rally one more time, and the payoff will be handsome. The party of a lifetime. Eat the rich! Yeah, here you go. Oh my god. Join Aero Force One. Look at this guy. The bird's a fascist. Reserve exclusive concert. So, this tells me, I know there's more to this, but what happens if after the bad guys lose and Aerosmith takes over, Aerosmith themselves becomes a fascist government? Yeah, the tyranny of rock. Reserve exclusive concert tickets from the comfort of your own home. Imagine that. Explore the world with Aerosmith and fellow AF1 members through our travel packages. Hear the latest news and personal messages from Stephen, Joe, Tom, Brad, and Joey. Pretty sure 3 of those people are names they just made up on our 24-hour hotline. Get a new member pack that includes a personalized membership card, band biography, discography, color photo, and all sorts of surprises. Get a subscription to the info and photo-packed official AF1 newsletter. Win rare and autographed items through our exclusive Aero Force One contests. Order high-quality merchandise you can't get anywhere else. Luckily, it's local for me, so I can probably just swing on down there. Send your name, address, phone number, birth date, and email address, if you got one, with a check, money order, or credit card info for $16 or $23 foreign, because it doesn't matter where. Aero Force One, Department X. So it's in the old Twitter building. P.O. Box 882494, San Francisco, California 94188. Or call us at 415, that's my area code, 415 597 5500. And that's what you get. If you're interested, you could look out for Cutthroat Island from Acclaim. Contact the ESRB to understand why Cutthroat Island is rated kids through adults. So there we go. Damn, 23 foreign dollars. I can't believe it. In foreign dollars back then, it's worth a lot. There were the two currencies, as we all know. $16 US, $23 elsewhere, other. So that was Revolution X. I think that's going to be kind of hard to top. So I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to go next with this. Let me take a look at something real quick and see if I can find. I'm curious, does Sunset Riders have a good manual? This is, again, I'm not doing a lot of pre-planning here. Sunset Riders manual. Although I'm worried Sunset Riders might be a little bit dicey, but hey. Ooh. Oh, 7 pages. That's not gonna give us much, is it? Hang tight for just a moment. Let's see here. They don't tell us a whole lot. Sample screenshots. I'm just gonna screen share this for a second. We can take a quick look at it. Oh yeah, Trap. If you enjoyed the trailer, you'll enjoy the movie for Trap. And Stalker 2 came out. That's right. I've heard it's divisive, and that's pretty exciting to me, actually. I think that's pretty neat. That was something I wanted to do at the beginning of the show. I wanted to talk a little bit about getting to go to the Digital Eclipse offices last week to play the upcoming Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game, Rita's Rewind. I got an invitation, an awesome invitation. I'm so grateful for it, to go over to the office, hang out for a bit, and get to play like a couple of levels. I want to say there were 2 episodes. The game is broken up into episodes of their upcoming. It comes out next month. Beat 'em up in the kind of TMNT Simpsons Konami style, and it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna say that I was not a Power Rangers kid. I've said this before. I was like a little too old, I think, for it. So I have 0 frame of reference for it. And really, like, it was a kind of a show that as a kid I was sort of like, I'm really not interested. But the stuff that I've seen out of Digital Eclipse on this before, with the colors, the super scalar stuff, was all looking really exciting. And so I got an opportunity to go see it and play it. And folks, it's good. It's good. I'm super curious to see what they do with it. It's a lot more varied than you would think. The super scalar stuff looks incredible, and the music is amazing, and the graphics are great. It like looks gorgeous. And if you're a fan in beat 'em ups of like hitting the parking meters in TMNT, or like hitting back the sewer plate at the guy, they go all in on that. You can knock everything around in this game. So I spent a lot of time just knocking tables and chairs over, and it was fantastic. So the folks at Digital Eclipse and everybody that they're working with on this game, as well as Tetris Forever, which is phenomenal. I just finished it last night. They are just doing God's work as a fan of video games. And I felt bad because I was talking with Mike Micah when I was there, and I was telling him all this, and I was like, oh man, I'm being really like cringe probably about this. So apologies, Mike, if you ever see this. Apologies for being chuggy and cringe, but the work that they do is amazing. And Andrew in the chat points out the recent Digital Eclipse stuff has gotten his kids way into old games, seeking them out of their own volition and everything, which rocks. Love Digital Eclipse so much. They are so cool, and you can tell when you're playing the stuff, when you're watching the stuff, and when you're just hearing them talk about it, that they love this shit. Like, they love it. Excuse me, bad language. They love this stuff. And so all of it comes through the genuine love, joy, passion, care. They're doing such incredible work. Mike is amazing. That's great. Since 2008, that's a long run. Mike is one of the nicest dudes I've ever met in this space. And Andrew Elmore, yeah, get on it. If you owe him an email him. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear from you. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, back in 2000, we'll read another manual. I'm sorry about this, but back in 2000, for 1999 for the new year 2000, my family and I went on a trip to the island nation of Palau in the South Pacific, and I had my Game Boy Color and I had this game, Disney's Tarzan, on the Game Boy, and I got a sunburn that was so bad I fell asleep on the beach, and I'm by no means a tan boy. I'm no means a tan man. And I fell asleep on the beach and got the worst sunburn I've ever had. I had to go to the hospital. I had to have doctors like take care of stuff. I couldn't use my hands because I couldn't move them enough because it was so swollen. I couldn't put shoes on for a week, and I couldn't eat because I couldn't move my face. It would like crack the skin, right? Sorry if you're eating right now. I'm sorry. So I couldn't do anything. But what I could do is just a little bit is like play Game Boy, lie in bed, put some aloe vera on me, take some medicine, and play Game Boy. And I played a bunch of Disney's Tarzan. And this game, if you're ever curious, go look up videos of Tarzan. And this is tying back. And all of the other Digital Eclipse games from the Game Boy Color era, because what Mike and his folks did over there is find some incredible ways to get animation out of the Game Boy Color in ways that you would never expect, and it's insane. So, yes, that is a good copy. My copy is actually, I don't know if it's in here or somewhere else, but I think it might be in this box over here. My copy is signed. I got it signed. I went and I visited, and Mike got it, and Mike signed it for me. So thank you to that. This is just going to become a Mike Micah and Digital Eclipse Appreciation Hour. What I will do one of these days is I will go and I want to take the Atari, now that they've done everything in that game, the Atari 50 thing, they have a lot of manuals in there. Maybe one day I'll just do a long Atari 50 manuals read. I think it'd be pretty fun. So, so there we go. Sorry about that. Just as a quick aside on everything. Thanks everybody for sitting with me while I did that. Let's take a quick look at the Sunset Riders manual. I don't think that there's a whole lot in it. I'm going to quickly pop on over to it, and we'll just take a little quick look. There we go, Sunset Riders. It's one of these ones where they've done 2 pages of it. Howdy, partner. Thanks for picking up this here video game. We at Konami have rustled up a wild, rowdy version of our hit arcade game Sunset Riders. Before you strap on your shooting irons, we reckon you ought to read this instruction booklet completely to get the most doggone enjoyment you can from this Super NES game pack. So we feeling pretty good about that. Sunset Riders is cool. Sunset Riders has a few moments that I think maybe would be done a little bit differently. Now, but look at the art on the front of this cover. Holy smokes. I always forget the name of the guy. Someone in chat might remember the name of the artist. It's the guy who did Bayou Billy and the TMNT stuff. He was with Konami forever, and it's just incredible work. So yeah, so there you go. You got bullet holes in there because the Sunset Riders have terrible aim, and they don't like books. If there's one thing we learned about these kinds of fellas, they don't like books. Yes, that is a Tom Dubois. That's right. The Tom Dubois Booklet Appreciation Club is here. Saddle up, hombre. I'm gonna bring this down a little so y'all can see. Sorry. Nope, that was the wrong way. Do I know how to computer? I don't. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Saddle up, hombre. Forget about it. The dusty badlands of the Wild West are calling with more than just snakes, scorpions, and prairie dogs. They're low-down, cheating vermin like the bandito Poco Loco, the bankrupt banker Simon Greedwell, and the dapper English Diablo Sir Richard Rose. Each of these no-account lowlives has a hefty price on his head. It'll take a brave bounty hunter to ride out and bring peace to the valley. Fortunately, Steve, Billy, Bob, and Cormano are just the men to form a posse and corral these corrupt, cowardly crooks. That's right. Learning from this manual and from Revolution X that the only way to deal with corruption is violence, which is a lesson that I think I wouldn't say that I subscribe to, but is certainly one that appears now that I'm reading all these manuals to have been literally everywhere in video games in the 1980s and the 1990s. And maybe partially responsible for the situations that we're in these days. Just we should use our words, is I think the thing. You can form a posse think that's good. Yeah, sorry, direct action. Sorry, direct action. Billy, Steve, Bob, and Cormano are performing some direct action against the corrupt villains of the Old West. So that's important. Game screen. This here's where you play. You got your points, life bars, and number of lives remaining all on this screen, as well as your good guys and bad guys. This is great. Sometimes they give you like cool ways of talking in here, and sometimes they just say the control pad is used to move and aim your weapons. Here's some tips and hints, amigo. And also, I agree. Sorry, Space Astrocat points out that Cormano was the best. Cormano was the best. Let's look at them real quick again. I want to take a look. Cormano's cool. I like Bob, but only because this is a good green. The Konami green, I really appreciate. So it goes. Psst, here's some hints and tips, amigo. Y'all can pick up their Nope. 3, 2, 1. Y'all can pick them their sticks of dynamite and pitch them back, but hurry before they blow up in your hands. Here's how you do it. Walk over the stick of dynamite to pick it up. Press the control pad in the direction you want to toss the dynamite, then press the shoot button. A big exclamation point appears right before the dynamite is going to blow up. You can jump onto rooftops by holding the control pad up and pressing the jump button. Try going into buildings for extra bonuses. Simply press up on the control pad, you're standing in front of a door. There are a couple of sheriff's badge which you can boost your guns. One gives you some wild rapid firing guns and the other gives you a second gun so you can shoot in 2 directions. Yeehaw! There's a bonus level. Here's a good way to make a few quick pieces of gold. This level appears a few times in the game. It's your basic shooting gallery type thing. Use the control pad to point the aiming doohickey at the bad guys that pop up, then press the shoot buttons to blast them. You'll see your score after the stage ends. In 2-player mode, the fastest gun wins the bucks. And then you get some sample screenshots. These are some sample screenshots. And whoever wrote this was having fun. Space Astrocat points out, I think a lot of the Konami SNES manuals have sort of like similar characterization in them. It's worth seeking out the manual for Mystical Ninja. It's got a lot going on in there, and that's pretty good. Flashback 64 is here. You're not late. There's no lateness. You're right on time. You're right on time to see some sample screenshots from whatever game this was that I'm reading, Sunset Riders. There you go. But just so you know, and actually you're just in time to find out, if you ever feel lost or just need a boost, don't worry. There is help available. I'm going to assume that they mean this in terms of just sort of like emotional support after the last couple of weeks. You can try our game hint and tip line. So I'll see if they are willing to support me emotionally for 70 cents per minute at 1-900-896-HINT. Touch tone phone required, and minors must have parental permission before calling. And if you're watching and you're a minor right now, this Zaddy was the word I learned. Remember, I still don't really know what it means. This Zaddy says it's okay. I hope that's not offensive. I'm being chuggy. So there you go. So that's that game. I'm gonna pop back in over here. Chat. The emotional support cowboys. We got our emotional support cowboys. That's pretty cool. So I think that was I think that was that manual. I have nothing to say about that except that I appreciate that they gave us in those brief 7 or 8 pages. They gave us a lot of cowboys. They gave us the word doohickey. They gave us no account lowlifes is another cool way of saying something. So I appreciate that about them. Let me go ahead and I'll do one more manual. Why not? I want to find a renovation software game. Renovation products. Let's look up renovation products over here. Actually, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and screen share. You know what sounds like a cool name for a thing? Master of Monsters. Let's try to find the Master of Monsters manual. I like that. Master of Monsters manual PDF. This is how the magic gets done. Master of Monsters. Oh boy. Oh yes, that's right. I forgot. I saw this one before. Look at this. Are you all ready for Master of Monsters? Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm honored to be a Fab Zaddy. I won't let anyone tell me otherwise. And I probably will also opt not to ever learn what it actually means. But again, if I'm saying something offensive, please do let me know. This is not my goal. My goal is not to use cool lingo to offend anybody. But there we go. Look at this. Look at these guys. Who here is the This is the master of monsters, right? This guy back here. Look at these eyebrows. I know it was a different time, but can you imagine his ear hair? I don't want to imagine his ear hair. This guy's coming to shave his eyebrows and his ear hair with this sword. Okay, I won't refer to myself as Zaddy to any minors. See, now I'm worried that I'm saying something truly offensive. You know what I do? You know what I'll do? I just won't say Zaddy anymore. I just won't say Zaddy. It will go in the list of disallowed words. It'll go into the disallowed words category. I'm going to check my calendar to make sure that I'm not about to run into something. It's great. I have a fairly clear afternoon from a meeting standpoint. I have a bunch of work to do, but it's good work. Spending a lot of time talking to folks actually right now. I'm doing kind of a lot of meetings with random folks that we work with, and it turns out I work with a lot of really nice people, so I'm very happy about that. So with that niceness in mind, I'm going to make this a bit smaller. It's not quite as in your face, but I hope everybody can see that. Don't censor yourself. That's right. This is the Zaddy zone. Again, I think I'm breaking. Master of Monsters by Renovation Products. I have enjoyed all the manuals for Renovation Products. It tells you it's important, advisable to take a 10 to 20 minute break during every hour of gameplay to prevent eye strain and sit a proper distance from the TV screen, at least 5 or 6 inches away. Is that still true? Like, in the old days, you couldn't sit in front of your CRT. It would hurt your eyes. Like, that I get. But, like, sitting in front of, like, this computer monitor, I don't know. It's doing great things for my eyes, probably. It's actually probably making my eyes stronger. So is that still true? You still shouldn't sit too far away? So I think that's good. Thanks for purchasing Master of Monsters from Renovation Products for the Sega Genesis. Please read this instruction manual carefully to ensure proper handling of your game. Oh boy, there's a lot of pages here. Look at this. Got screen indicators. You got game commands. I'm afraid this might be a little bit dense, but they're, oh boy. Okay, we got a big page. You ready to read? Who's ready to read? Master of Monsters is a war simulation game set in a world ruled by sorcery and monsters. The game is different from other war simulations because of its combination of strategy and magic. We got to bring back manuals that tell you why the game you just bought is different from the other ones. Like, I like when these games take slight digs at everything else. This game is different from other games you may have played because it's cool and not for babies. The stage is set. It's an eerie. Is that how you spell eerie? It's an eerie, mystical day in the world of mana. Gaia, the prime master of magic, summoned the ruling masters of the 5 magical disciplines: Daimyo, magician of law; sorcerer, priest of healing; wizard, magician of evil; dark lord, brunch lord, magician of chaos; and summoner, mistress of neutrality and justice and chuginess. Gaia calmly glared at the dimly lit room as the 5 magicians quietly sat at the table of Anthrax. It sounds bad. Ancient forum of diplomacy. "Why do you call us here, Gaia?" Dark Lord grumbled. "I have no time for these petty negotiations." "The time has come," Gaia groaned, "to choose a new Prime Master. I grow weary, and my days are fading." "At last," Wizard blurted, "I will have complete control of mana." Summoner laughed. "Wizard, you old fool. You could no more rule your home than you could rule the world of mana." "Silence!" yelled Gaia. "You will not bicker at this sacred table. I will not permit it. Now, only one of you can become the new Prime Master, and only one discipline can reign as the supreme magical discipline. Each of you must enter the mythical proving grounds of the ancient wizard Anthrax and duel using your own magic, intelligence, and power. You must summon your legions of mythical monsters and do battle for control of the castles and towers. The master who survives the battles and seizes all of them will ascend to the throne of Prime Master." At the end of his speech, Gaia quietly rose and departed. Afterwards, There was a rumbling sound, and a gateway opened up where he had been sitting. The proving ground of Anthrax awaits you on the other side of the portal. Only the brave and true of heart can survive here, so be prepared. The 5 magicians slowly pass one by one through the magical gateway. On the other side, they find themselves in their ruling towers. But the land outside the familiar towers looks anything but familiar. Indeed, they find themselves in the proving grounds of Anthrax, with no easy way back in sight. Bum 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 bum. Wizard blurted Anthrax. This is good. The proving grounds. I kept wanting, whenever they kept saying the Prime Master, I kept wanting to say Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister of Magic is probably a pretty powerful guy. So there we go. I've forgotten everything that I just read, and I'm a little lightheaded after doing voices. So there you go. Once again, look at this beautiful Sega Genesis controller over here. I think that's nice. I love that. The 3 buttons in a row still blows me away to this day, and I don't know why. There's a lot here. I have no idea what's going to be in this manual. I think there's a lot, though, and maybe it's not all fun. It's very dry right now, but look at this. I'm going to tell you this much right now. If you would put this game in front of me when it came out as a 9-year-old, I would have said, nope, I'm good, thank you. Not my kind of game. And I think I still look at it, and I'm a little bit... seeing a game like this gives me anxiety, is what I would say. This is a strategy game, it seems like. Well, actually, so is it a strategy game is the question. I think we saw at the very beginning that it is different from other war simulations because, yes, it is a combination of strategy, but also of magic. So it's not just a strategy game, but it's also a magic game, a game about magic. So there you go, Master of Monsters. Look there, like you got this guy's name is Griffin. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, he's a Griffin, Peter Griffin. Master of Monsters fight. Boy, I'm not sure there's going to be a lot in this one. Game terminology: hex, yeah, hexagonal shells or cells. Excuse me. Command window. Boy, oh boy, this one's dry. Magic, Master of Monsters. Please God, I want to see some character bios. Please, please, please. Setup, player, music, list of basic magic. Boy, folks. Oh man, this is too dry. I'm sorry. At least we got a cool screenshot and a cool general story. This just tells you what they can all do. Landscapes. There's castles in each area. Fortresses. Whew. Well, folks, this is the risk we run. Should we just read out all the percentages here? This is gonna be how all the future ones go. You know, actually, there's a manual for Magic Johnson's basketball on the Amiga that I want to read once, because all it is like 5 pages of single-spaced sentences listing out his achievements in basketball. And there's like nothing else to it. It's just like, and then on this game he did this, and then on this game he did this, and he's the only player who's ever done this. It's pretty cool. So happy birthday, Ryu, to Wizard Blurted. On this day, November 20th, 2024, Wizard Blurted was born. Wizard Blurted is such a good phrase. So anyway, yeah, I get that. Ocean, big land, small land, fiery land, dune, big tundra, small tundra, castle, tower, fortress, plain, forest, river, 40%, 60%, 40%, 60%, 40%, 30%. We could just read tables. We can set the table. Here we go. We got some characters. Let's find out. About 80 kinds of monsters appear in Masters of Monsters. Many of them are imaginary monsters, which often appear in fantasy stories. Some of them are the monsters that we live with. Anger, sadness, loneliness. Masters, there are 5 masters, magicians, in this game. At the start, you are to select a master from among the 5. Look at this guy. He's so self-satisfied. The Warlock is a law master, symbolizing law and order. It's a little scary how violent he looks, but that's okay. That's cool. We've got the Sorcerer, who's got a cool thing. He's got a big, like, pot belly, too. He's been eating a lot of pasta. A Law Master with the strength and magic and recovering. He has a Pegasus and Unicorn. That's kind of cool. The Wizard is pondering the orb, and that's kind of nice. Wizard Blurted. He's a Chaos Master. No kidding. He was blurting things out. Tremendous striking power. And then we got the Necromancer. Is kind of cool. The Master of Monsters. Can the Master of Monsters overcome the monster of his own alcoholism? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the game, only one can, and that's kind of the sad. That's kind of the sad state of this game. You got a summoner, a neutral master, characterizing neutrality, and also revealing attire. So that's cool. God, look at this guy. Speaking of revealing attire, what's going on here? Air is air is hard air. I don't know what that is. I don't know. It's like, is there like he's got a hard breeze. I don't know what any of this is. I'm just trying something out. We're just saying things. Let's keep moving. You got dragon, frost dragon, ice dragon, dragon, sky dragon, air dragon, dragon, dark dragon, death dragon, dragon, silver dragon, gold dragon, roamer, Carthage, Caesar, barbarian, berserker, mad fighter, soldier, fighter, crusader, unicorn, tricorn, Pegasus, mono Pegasus, wraith, dark wraith, black wraith, troll, giant, colossus, cyclops, mono giant, ice giant, Gorum, stone Gorum, iron Gorum, minotaur, Gorgon, sky Gorgon, rock, phoenix, griffin, hippogriffin, manticore, sphinx, lizard man, twin head, hydra, mermaid, siren, kraken, tentaclus, serpent, sea dragon. So those are some of the other things that are in the game. Andrew Elmore, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Wizard Blurted. These folks are all serving looks. None quite as much as in the Ys 3 back artwork. This is pretty cool. I think all of these are pretty cool, actually. So, Return of the Wanderers. I think maybe we'll do one of these ones next time. If you have any questions for Renovation Products, they are still at this era at 987 University Ave, Suite 10 in Los Gatos, California, 95030. Alrighty, that is probably it. It's been an hour. I can't imagine anybody wants more of this. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to sign on out. Thank you so much. SFSU, can you send me, taller than you remember, can you send me a message on the side? Because I want to know, you said something earlier, and I want to know who you are. I realize I don't know who you are, but I was like, oh yeah, no, I remember that Professor Ibrahim. So message me, because I'm realizing that I don't recognize from the name here. But thank you for coming. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to send everybody out with the Road Blasters intro video again, because why the heck not? It's so gosh darn good. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.